right after this ceasefire was brokered, Donald Trump went to Israel himself to show his face in the Knesset. And there was, of course, a very esteemed guest in attendance, Miriam Adelson. Now, not all of the TV cameras cut to her while he kind of awkwardly shouted her out, but there she is, looking her finest. Trump on Israel lobby kingpin Miriam Adelson in the Knesset. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She got $60 billion in the bank. So he basically does a cover version of the same speech he gave before the 2024 election, where he goes up on stage and essentially brags about how the Adelsons were his top visitor to the White House in his first term, and about how they turned the screws on him to move the embassy to Jerusalem, and about how he gave them what they wanted. And here he is giving Miriam, his $100 million woman, a shout out at the Knesset.
From many other American presidents, you know that they kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem.
He points at her. Point, there's my girl.
Isn't that right, Miriam?
You suck.
Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I could think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got $60 billion in the bank. $60 billion, and she loves. I think she's saying no more. And she loves Israel, but she loves it. And they would come in, and her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him.
I left him because he had a lot of money. See, one other thing that's kind of revealing here is just how much these people just worship money. Like a guy like Donald Trump, who considers himself this big alpha, subservient to no one. He is very open about his subservience to people who are richer than him, because the world these people live in is a world where money rules. So the richer you are, the more power you are entitled to. So Donald Trump knows he's got a big net worth. He knows it's not $60 billion. And so he thinks it's completely normal to just act like a slave for Miriam Adelson. He's proud of that. He's proud of it. There's no stigma attached to him making a beta of himself if he's a beta to someone richer. That's just the natural order of things. And that's how they see the world.
Yeah. And I must say, once again, for any Zionists who don't think that you are actually creating the ground for a Holocaust that you say you're preventing by supporting Israel, I cannot think of a better way to reinforce every anti-Semitic trope ever than to have the American president standing in front of the Star of David, glazing the woman who gave him millions of dollars to enact the policies he has gone on to enact that are very pro-Israel, and talking about the fact that she has $60 billion and then saying, she's saying she has more. Like you really, you look at this and that makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
That makes you feel like, wow, man, we're really fighting anti-Semitism here. Like, I can't think of anything you could do that could make anti-Semitic tropes more plausible than this clip.
Well, he's not done. Far from it.
They're very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up, can I come over and see you? I say, Sheldon, I'm the president of the United States. It doesn't work that way. He'd come in.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
He'd come anyway.
Very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen to Israel. Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean,
Make her
she
stand
loves
up
this
again.
country.
Now here comes the big one. Here comes the money quote.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the whole clip.
She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say.
That might mean Israel. Yeah, I gotta
we
say.
love you. Thank you, darling.
We love you. I gotta say, she probably,
Wow.
the woman who funded half my campaign to $100 million. I think she loves Israel more than America. But I ran on America first. Isn't that funny? Too bad. Too bad. I've only got one term left. Can't vote me out now.
This is what I voted for.
This is what I voted for. Yeah.
I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say.
And it might be
That's adorable.
It's
adorable.
The woman who gave you $100 million, she's more loyal to Israel than she is to the United States. Isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious? Did I say America first? Oh, I meant Israel first.
And
Sorry.
I'm loyal to money, which means I'm loyal to her. So by the transitive property of money, I'm more loyal to Israel.
I'm more loyal to Israel too. That's kind of why I'm here. See the flag in back of me. I didn't even make him put an American flag behind me. We put the Israeli flag
the
up.
part loud. This is saying the loud part loud.
So Thomas Massey pounced on this. Thomas Massey says, Trump asked dual citizen Miriam Adelson, a billionaire running nasty ads against me in Kentucky. I didn't know her PAC was running ads against Massey. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer him. He says that might mean she loves Israel more. This isn't AI. It's real video. That's right. It is indeed. Henry Fjord says Miriam Adelson's late husband, Sheldon, made it very clear who they are loyal to. Quote, the uniform that I wore in the military was unfortunately not an Israeli uniform. All we care about is being good Zionists, being good citizens of Israel. Israel is in my heart. So here is the late Sheldon Adelson standing next to his trophy wife, Miriam.
That the Adelson family has nothing to gain except that which is in our heart. I am not Israeli. The uniform that I wore in the military, unfortunately, was not an Israeli uniform. It was an American uniform, although my wife was in the IDF, and one of my daughters was in the IDF, and my two little boys, one of whom will be bar mitzvah tomorrow. Hopefully he'll come back. Thank you. Hopefully he'll come back. His hobby is shooting, and he'll come back and be a sniper for the IDF.
It's a nice thing to wish for your child. That'll be a sniper for the IDF.
They say they get a little PTSD.
Yeah, right.
Trauma. Exactly. It'll be all right. We'll pay for some therapy.
We know the best.
All we care about is being good Zionists, being good citizens of Israel, because even though I'm not Israeli born, Israel is in my heart.
All we care about is being good Zionists, and I wish I had not fought for the American military, but for the Israeli military. Yeah, no, that sounds to me like Donald Trump probably read her right, that she loves Israel more than she loves the.
She was in the IDF.
United States.
What do you think? She's a native-born Israeli?
She's a native Israeli. She was born
of course.
in 1945, so she was born right during the end of the mandate time, right? Aaron Mate says, whenever I hear Trump flaunt how much he does the bidding of the Israel First oligarchs who fund his campaign, I think of all the time and energy wasted by Democratic Party leaders and media stenographers on their pet conspiracy theory that Trump is secretly compromised and funded by the Kremlin and Russian oligarchs. Exactly. Why did every Russiagate cult member chase that mythical foreign influence over Trump? Ignore this real one. Yeah, exactly.
Good that was the Nation did a whole article showing that insofar as there was anything to the allegations of Russiagate, there was a there. Wrong country. The country that was compromising Donald Trump was Israel.
Exactly. It was Israel all along. So Caitlin Johnston, along similar lines, writes a little scene here. Trump, she should send this to Ghislaine Maxwell with that outline in the outline of a young woman to her jail cell. Trump, I am bought and owned by Miriam Adelson, the world's richest Israeli. Democrats, Trump is a Putin puppet. Trump, I do whatever she says. Democrats, a Russian secret agent. Trump, I'm controlled by the Israelis. Democrats, he's suspiciously close with many dictators, actually. I gave Miriam a foot rub last night. I don't feel good about it. Democrats, ooh. You know what would make him mad and hurt him politically if we play along with those conspiracy theories about him and Jeffrey Epstein? Trump, I'm going to bomb Iran again. Yep, going everywhere except here. But TRT World did a little brief short about Miriam Adelson, just to give you a little more backstory about where she came from. Yes, she was born in what is now Israel.
These are great people, Miriam. But the strongest there was, if you said something about a Jewish person or something about Israel that was bad, you were out of politics.
At a recent Fighting Anti-Semitism in America conference on Capitol Hill, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump directly addressed one of his biggest financiers, Miriam Adelson.
And for the last 10 weeks, we have been waging a righteous war in Gaza.
Billionaire Adelson is a known Republican megadonor. It was recently revealed that she dumped $95 million to boost Trump's presidential campaign, bringing her total contributions to Trump for the 2024 US elections to $100 million.
This is a president who keeps his promises. He promised to recognize Jerusalem as the Israeli capital.
The Israeli-American physician is the wife of deceased casino magnate Sheldon Adelson, who died in 2021. Both were awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the US, by Trump in 2018 after they donated $133 million to Republican candidates during the 2016 US presidential campaign and 2018's election cycle. Known for her staunch Zionist views, Adelson was born in 1945 in Mandatory Palestine. Her father was a prominent figure of the Zionist Mapam Party, which was responsible for the ethnic cleansing of 750,000 Palestinians between 1947 and 1949. She served in Israel's army and has dual Israeli and US citizenship. Adelson proudly funds the expansion of illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. She also spent millions of dollars to illegally build a medical school at Ariel University in the occupied West Bank. In contributing millions to Trump's campaign, what is Adelson's endgame?
Well, I think it's pretty clear what her end game is, right? I don't think that's much mystery. And yeah, that is who your America First president is indebted to. And he says it right into the microphone. He said it during the campaign. Now he has nothing much to lose, so we'll say it after the campaign. But that's it. That's who that is who runs foreign policy as much as anyone else. Is that a surprise? Why is it a surprise? He said all that before the campaign. He was just doing a cover. That was just a cover speech of a speech he made well before 2024 November time, right? Well before it became time to vote. This was all out there. This was all out there for everybody to see. We played it on the show. We played it on the show
many times.
In the run up to the election. So it was all very obvious where this was going to go. And the fact that he still feels compelled to humiliate himself in this way, right? I really think that is like rich people shit. That's oligarch stuff where like you kind of feel it is proper to debase yourself to the richer person, right? Because that's clearly where that's the source of this reverence he has for her. He already got what he needs from her, right? She gave him the $100 million. He's not running again. What does he need to do this for? I think he feels like he owes it to people who are richer than him to pay respect to people who are richer than him and who clearly wear the pants in that relationship.
Yeah, it keeps reminding me of that movie. I think it was Norwegian, Speak No Evil, where after doing just these absolutely horrible things to this couple, at the end they say, "Why did you do this to us?" And he says, "Because you let me." That's how I see the population, really. Like, these people are criminals who don't care about you, clearly. And the one power that people have is their mass, right? There's more of us, way more of us than there are of them. And that's why they keep you fighting with the MSNBC and the Fox and the Benny in the Closet and the Pod Save America. What do you think? That's not intentional? They just keep you fighting over bullshit while they parade around on these stages, clearly people who belong in jail. And how do they exert all this power and control over you? Because you let them. You let them. If you're an America First thing, how do you see that? And then the next tweet from Nick Sorter, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, we're so back. We're so back."
Right.
How do you let them? That's why your life sucks, because you let these people abuse you. You let them abuse you. If the population were not so hypnotized and brainwashed, and this doesn't belong to any particular ideology, it's collective, it's everybody. We're hypnotized. We're in the matrix, man. Like, the fact that anybody would look at that and decide, I'm not going to see that part. I'm not going to look at that part. Or for that matter, the fact that Obama bailed out the bankers and let the homeowners drown. And you're still going to believe that Obama was an avatar of some kind of a left economic project. That is being hypnotized, man. You're not a full person, man. You're not a full person. You're asleep. They're putting you to sleep, and they're constantly feeding you propaganda and rage bait, and they're encouraging you and convincing you to substitute signaling for thought and personality. You're not a full person. If you can watch that and still think supporting these people is America First, you're brainwashed, man. You're asleep. You're not even a fully conscious human, and that's how they want you.
Please clap.